Tell me when. Bueno, rumbo para Manplesa, ¿verdad?
Ahí, dale, dale.
You know, I came in the summer of 1980.
I was 7 years old when I came to DC. It was as a result of the war that was taking place in El Salvador.
I came at the age of 8. We're the generation that came as children.
Coming to Manplesa was coming to my hometown, to El Salvador, you know.
When I got off the boat type of thing, I landed into a Latino community that was already well established.
Eso.
We came to Manplesa because it's a place to start in the United States.
But then you started feeling this tension that you didn't feel before.
In my country, you grow up in community, which means you grow up outside.
It's very traditional for people in Latin America to just go to the plaza.
You could see how the cops started imposing their will on people who just, they call them vagrants, but they weren't vagrants. We all hung out in the street.
Cops were pretty forceful in those days.
And they would come all the time to try to disperse us aggressively.
Yeah, remember you were over here, right?
Yeah, we were right there when the riot started, bro. We heard the shot, man.
I think it was just a moment where everybody said, F this shit, you know? We've had it. And just broke loose.
It's like, it's about time that we take accountability. And if it means riots, that's what it means.
So Salvadorian was shot. So we fought.
I grew up in the Civil War in El Salvador, and we came to this country running away from it. And there was another civil war here.
There just always seemed to be this black and white. And so you see the racism. And at some point then you're sort of seeing that you're that brown kid too. So you're impacted by that. And then sort of, wait a minute, what's my story?
Before, we were the unseen. We were the silence.
They say, oh, there is a Latino community. It triggered for the government to pay attention to us.
If we don't start really looking back and remembering why things occurred, then we also don't see how they're still present. Memory is necessary. It allows you to feel again what you felt and remember what you have to fight for, too.
One day I'm walking on Mount Pleasant and I see a group of white people and this cat is telling them about Mount Pleasant and he says, anybody has any questions? And I went. And I said, yo, my man, how long you been here? I hadn't heard any of his story, right? And he goes, oh, 8 years. So I said, okay, my man, I'm gonna walk. And I started walking, he goes, why did you ask? And I said, 8 years and you're telling the story of my Mount Pleasant?